Good morning. I'm Derrick Johnson, and I work with the Risk Management Agency out of the Jackson, Mississippi Regional Office. And I work as a risk management specialist. And so I'm going to give you a broad overview of crop insurance and the benefits of having crop insurance as a risk tool. Um, I also, towards the end, I work with new and beginning farmers, and I just want to explain that role in a few minutes for those of you who just getting started and kind of just want to know, what direction you should take. But first, let's get into a little bit about crop insurance. Now, I was kind of looking at the poll, and I see most people had a moderate understanding of production risk, but not a lot of people are familiar with the risk management agency. So I give kind of a brief history. Crop insurance was authorized by Congress in the 1930s, and it was in response to the Great Depression that was going on at the time. The Federal Crop Insurance Corporation was created in 1938, but it was only to carry out the insurance program as an experiment. And so crop insurance remained an experiment until 1980 with the passage of the Federal Crop Insurance Act. And then in 1996, RMA was created to administer federal crop insurance. RMA, it's a relatively small agency, approximately 350 people spread across the country. There are 10 regional offices that help to administer the crop insurance program and also to educate and increase awareness of the program. Now, as I mentioned, I work in the Jackson, Mississippi regional office, and you can see our cluster of states down in the purple there. We service a 5-state region. We have Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Tennessee, as well as Kentucky. So how exactly does crop insurance work? The insurance is sold and serviced by private companies or what we call approved insurance providers or AIPs, always an acronym for government. But there were about 17 companies that sold crop insurance in 2020. That number tends to fluctuate from year to year. Now, RMA's role is RMA establishes the rates, the terms of the policies, as well as the price that you tend to pay. We also ensure that things like premium and the loss information is correct. RMA also creates new insurance programs and expand existing programs wherever needed. Now, as a producer, you're going to need to provide the following information to your crop insurance agent. The sales closing date, that's very important. You let your agent know about that you plan to have insurance before that sales closing date. You need to let he or she know about your production history, where you planted in the past, and also where you intend to plant for the upcoming year. You pay your premium to your agent. And if you notice some damage in your field, you provide a notice of loss to your agent, as well as work with him or her to receive a payment. Now, if you do decide to purchase crop insurance, the most important thing is getting in touch with your agent in a timely manner so that he or she can get an adjuster out to document your damage. Now, just to give you an idea, this is a summary of 2020 coverage for Mississippi. So we insure way more crops than this, but these are kind of the major crops covered. And you can see soybeans and corn as well as cotton, they lead the insured acres for the state. We do insure quite a bit of rice as well. But I want you to notice all the way at the bottom under crop pilot programs, whole farm revenue protection. It's worth mentioning because it's our only program that we have available in all counties or parishes in the United States. And I'll talk more about whole farm and pasture, rangeland, and forage in a few minutes. But first, I want to just discuss a bit about how you go about purchasing crop insurance. So as I mentioned earlier, you would purchase from a crop insurance agent, and you would go to the link rma.usda.gov, and then our tools button to find our agent locator tool. Then you'll put your address in, and it'll give you agents closest to your operation. I will say all agents are not created equal. And I don't mean that in a degrading way, but for example, if you have a nursery operation, Some agents may not be familiar with nurseries and how the program works. So make sure to find one that fits your needs. And here's a screenshot of our website. And notice at the top the tools drop down. And then from there you'll see our agent locator. The other thing I want you to notice on our website in the lower right is the beginning farmer link. This page, it takes you to our beginning farmer resources for crop insurance. You can find all RMA resources related to beginning farmer benefits on this page. There is also an agent locator link on this page as well. So now, as a beginning farmer and rancher, some of the RMA benefits include you would be exempt from the $655 administrative fee for catastrophic risk policies. And our catastrophic risk policies, I would liken them to having liability only on your car. It provides insurance, but at a lower coverage level. So you also receive an increase of 10 percentage points of premium subsidy. You can use another person's production history only if you were previously involved in that operation. And you will receive an increase to your reported yields through a yield adjustment option. Now, in order to be eligible for RMA programs as a beginning farmer, you must not have farmed for more than 5 crop years. Unless you are interested in our whole farm revenue protection program, and then you can farm up to 10 years before being eligible for beginning farmer benefits. There are some exemptions for military and college.
Derrick.
Yes, sir.
There's a question in the chat.
Okay.
Well, I guess it's not so much a question, but a statement. It said we are in a hurricane alley. I think is that part of your catastrophic programs?
Well, no, that the hurricane insurance is an option. So you can purchase normal insurance where you're insuring your revenue or your yields, but then you can purchase an additional option for her to insure against hurricanes. And so that's in particular in certain states. So Louisiana has hurricane insurance. I have to look for the other states for sure. Mississippi has hurricane insurance. And I would have to look at the other states for sure, but there is an option for hurricanes.
Okay. She's in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
She's in the Virgin Islands?
Yeah, U.S. Virgin Islands.
I would have to look for sure. I would think so, since that is in that vicinity, in that alley. But I will have to verify for sure.
Okay.
Is that any more questions?
No, if they come in the box, I'll flag you when you get to a good stop.
Okay. All right. I'm just documenting that question. So back to what I was saying, there are some exemptions for military and college for beginning farmer and rancher benefits. Now, having crop insurance, you are protected from damages like flood, heat, fire, insects, loss of revenue, and a number of other insured causes of loss. Now, the one thing I want to highlight is the loss of revenue. And it happens when your price at the time of harvest drops below the RMA projected price. So that will potentially trigger a payment. Now, some insurance products that RMA offers. First, we have kind of the most popular is the multi-peril crop insurance product. And these are programs or products. They're designed to either protect your revenue, or they're programs strictly based on your yields. And we got programs for more than 100 crops, including organics. We even insure oysters down in Louisiana. Next, as I mentioned earlier, we got the whole farm revenue protection. And I'll mention again, it's our only product that's available in every county or parish in the U.S. And it targets specialty crop producers that have diverse operations. For example, you could get up to 80% premium discount for having multiple crops. On the flip side, if you have a single commodity in this program, you would get a lower premium discount up to maybe 67%. You will need for whole farm, 5 consecutive years of Schedule F or other tax forms. If you're a beginning farmer or a rancher, you may qualify with 3 consecutive years of Schedule F or other tax forms. So I said that to say that record keeping is very important. Now, this is for anybody with livestock. We have a product that insures your pastures from drought called Pasture, Rangeland, Forage, or PRF. And this program, it ensures in index intervals, meaning you must insure your pastures in 2-month intervals. And you can select those 2-month intervals when you feel that your pastures will likely experience drought type conditions. So, and if you are like me, you want to know how much something like this costs before talking to anybody. So I'll show you another tool on our website called Cost Estimator. And it gives you an idea of the premium that you'll pay. And so, again, you'll go to rma.usda.gov, click on tools, and you'll see Cost Estimator in the far right. I've got it circled in red there.
Derrick, got another question in the end.
Yes, sir.
Chat box.
Mm-hmm.
Someone asks, what about nonprofit farms?
What about nonprofit farms?
Yes.
That you can set up your business entity kind of how you would like LLC, corporation, but they are eligible.
Okay.
So,
someone asked, can you give a ballpark on the numbers where you break even to insure?
give a ballpark on the numbers where you break even to insure. Well, I'm not acreage or
okay. She's okay. Christina Frederick said we have found that our small, I guess this organic diversified farm does not have the scale to make crop insurance affordable. We grow 45 acres plus poultry and sheep, and it does not make fiscal sense to pay these huge premiums on a small income. Can you give a ballpark on the numbers where you break even to insure? 45 crops, and it's a market guard.
What I'm sorry, go back to, you said what type of crops?
It's 45 crops, and she has plus poultry and sheep.
Okay. All right. I can
So I'm 45 diversified crops. I want to.
Okay. Well, I'll give you an idea of up to 3 crops here in just a second. Just let you know how much something like whole farm revenue protection will cost, if that would help. Actually, that's about to be my next slide. Just kind of get into it. So if you click on that cost estimator, it'll take you to this cost estimator page, and if you click personalized estimate, it's going to take you to a page where you can select options that are unique to your operation, and that gives you an estimate on how much you'll end up paying. So let's walk through a cost estimate of an operation in Hinds County interested in whole farm revenue protection. So here's the once I click continue, it'll take me to this screen where I'll select the commodity year, and I selected 2022 because we're planning on next year. And then I selected the insurance plan, which is whole farm revenue protection, of course, Mississippi, and then I've got Hinds County. And click continue. And so it's going to take you to kind of a generic page like this that shows the criteria that you selected. And then right next to whole farm revenue protection, you'll click add item. And this will take you to a page that'll start to begin your estimate. So let's run through the selections to get a whole farm estimate. And this is where good record keeping really helps. So the first line, our commodity, is essentially the plan, the whole farm revenue protection, because we'll specify our commodities a little further down here. Our type is calendar year filer. Is just asking how you tend to file your taxes. I just said calendar year. Practice, you can either select irrigated or non-irrigated. I selected no practice specified, just wanted to get a quick dirty estimate. Do you qualify for beginning or veteran farmer rancher? Remember, I said you can farm up to 10 years before being ineligible for beginning farmer benefits under whole farm. So I selected beginning farmer rancher. Next to it is veteran farmer rancher. For RMA's purposes, essentially those benefits are equivalent. So coming on down, does conservation compliance apply? It's asking if we essentially violated any wetlands or highly erodible land. No, we haven't. So I selected no. MPCI liability, that's essentially what you're figuring your crops are worth. So I said that my crops are worth $50,000. We're not expanding the operation, don't have to worry about expanded operation factor. We don't want to opt out of indexing. We just want to get a quick estimate. Then the qualifying commodity count cut flag. This is indicating to the system that, hey, I have more than one crop. I've got a diverse operation. So you say yes, and then you come on down and you tell the system how many crops you have. And in this case, I said I've got 3. We got some cut flowers out there. I got some collard greens out there, and I got a little hemp out there. So, and then coming on down, allowable revenue. This is where the record keeping comes in. I just said that, we have been making $10,000 since 2016 through 2020. Now, for beginning farmer ranch, if you're a beginning farmer rancher, you would only have to submit 3 years of tax records. So, and then coming on down to commodity values, I said my cut flowers are worth 20,000. My collard greens are worth 10,000, and my hemp is worth another 20,000. And then that totals $50,000. So that's how I got that MPCI liability of $50,000. And then nothing else needs to be selected. Native side acreage till not applicable. We could select some options down here, some cups and substitutions, but we just want something quick and dirty. We're not interested in that. And then you click get estimates. And so it'll take you to kind of another generic page where you can either look at your liability amount, the total premium amount, or the producer premium amount, meaning how much you'll pay, or the subsidy amount, meaning how much the government will pay. So I just wanted to see the producer amount here. And we can see at 85% coverage level, which is the highest coverage level offered, it'll cost $192 for that season. But if you want to just some lower coverage, the price gets pretty low. 70% coverage, $35 for 3 commodities. Now, to get more details, to see what the subsidy amount is and how much the total premium is, and to see what dates that you have to make sure you're keeping in mind, you click on that Worksheets tab right next to the 50%. And it takes you to a little worksheet here. And make sure the red circle, I have 85% coverage. We're on that tab. And then make sure we're on the producer worksheet, because we're not really concerned with all the calculations and the details of how things were calculated, unless you're a mathematician. But most people just want to see what they'll have to pay and what things cost. So coming on over to the green circles, you can see the first section are the dates. And that sales closing date, we have to let our insurance agent know that we plan to have insurance by February 28th of next year. And we have to let he or she know where we plan to plant by July 15th. So, and then there's no final planting date for whole farm for this particular product. Now, coming on down the computed results, you can see that the liability amount is $8,500. Now that will be what you would be entitled to should you have a complete wipeout of all your crops, all 3 commodities. You would receive $8,500. Coming on down, the total premium amount is $688.74. And so the subsidy, you can see the government's paying $496.74. So, and that leaves you as a producer to pay $192 for for 3 commodities on the whole farm. So, any questions, concerns, before I move on?
No, we just had one of our participants to say, looks like the Virgin Island in the U.S. is not available as a state selection in your estimator.
Okay. All right. Probably should be. Puerto Rico wasn't on there either. They may have it lumped in. I'll verify that.
She says no, Puerto Rico is not on there.
Okay. All right. I'll see what's going on with that, and I can follow up with the Virgin Islands.
Okay.
Now, I just want to shift, if there are not any more questions regarding cost estimator or crop insurance, I wanted to shift gears I just want to discuss my role on the USDA beginning farmer rancher team. And so in that role, I work with beginning farmers to help kind of navigate and guide them through the various USDA agencies and programs. So hopefully today has been helpful. The USDA website and the various agencies can be a bit overwhelming, when trying to do your own research. But so I'll try to give you a brief overview of steps you should take if you're new to farming. First, if you're new to farming, you should locate your local USDA service center, and you can do that by just Googling USDA Service Center Locator, and it'll give you options to pick your state and your county, and that local information will be listed. Once you find your USDA Service Center, you want to reach out to the USDA Farm Service Agency to get a farm number. That farm number is very important because it essentially opens you up to participating in all the other USDA programs. And so for that visit, you're going to need a driver's license, a passport, social security card, as well as your deed or lease. You do not have to own land to participate in FSA programs, NRCS programs, or crop insurance. Because there is a pandemic, business may be conducted via phone or email because in-person visits are prohibited right now. So call the local office to make an appointment before you go in. Now, once you have given FSA that information, they're going to enroll you into the system, provide you with a nice map delineating out your operation, and then that's going to be assigned a farm serial number. Again, that number is very important because it opens you up for participation in all of the programs. Now, FSA, they have 2 major categories of offering. They offer farm programs and they offer farm loan programs. So I would encourage you to contact your local service center for more information. One other USDA agency worth mentioning is Natural Resource Conservation Service. They provide conservation, technical, as well as financial assistance. Those people are literally boots on the ground, and they'll come out to your farm and help you identify and address any type of environmental conservation issues. One popular program for beginning farmers is the High Tunnel Initiative, and it does not require a large amount of acreage. And it also assists in kind of extending the growing season. High tunnels kind of look like greenhouses, except the sides roll up and down to control the airflow in and out. And this is offered as part of the Environmental Quality Incentive Program. And that program is very beneficial in helping farmers address all their natural resource concerns. But same as the Farm Service Agency programs, you will need a farm number to participate in EQIP. There are many other programs and agencies offered with the USDA, but I just wanted to highlight a couple. That concludes my presentation. Here is my contact information. If you have any questions, I'll take them now, or you can email me.
Got a thank you in the inbox. Yeah, pretty good. So Derek, I have a few questions. So with that locator, it's
Uh-huh.
going to help essentially locate um, people in the area that actually sells the whole farm revenue insurance, or just different types of different types of insurance. What type
Yeah.
of so with that
Well,
locator?
most of that agent locator, it will help you to find an agent, and those agents, they're all products are essentially available once you get in touch with a crop insurance agent. Whole farm, some revenue protection, yield protection, whichever one that you'll be interested in. And that agent, he or she, they'll know what's popular in the area, what works, what doesn't work. So they'll kind of help to guide you on what to select. But as I mentioned earlier, some agents may not be familiar with certain products as others. So if you're not comfortable with that agent, find another one.
You say with whole farm, it covers the entire farm. Is it limited to different agriculture enterprises? For example, honeybees, or um, is there a certain honeybees, or is there a certain practice that you have to? Because
Well,
okay.
there's certain crops that you can only insure under that whole farm umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure of apiculture because we've got a separate apiculture program for bees.
Okay.
So I don't know if the bees will fall under that whole farm umbrella, but there are just a whole lot of crops under that whole farm umbrella that you can select from.
Okay. We have a question in the chat box. Are there any insurance available for outbuildings, etc., or equipment?
No, we only insure livestock or crops.
Okay.
Not any structures.
We have another question. Are fruit trees or orchards covered?
Yes. We've got a blueberry program, got apple, pecan, um, grapes, avocado. Yes.
Okay. Someone says, I see bees as something to add in the estimator on the whole farm revenue protection plan.
Okay. So it looks like they cover bees. It's a ton of them. So I'm not familiar with each and every one, but
Okay.
I believe them.
All right. So another thing with whole farm revenue, it covers the entire farm. So, but it doesn't cover any injuries on the farm or anything like that.
No, it doesn't cover the structures,
No liability.
your high tunnel. No liability. Just those crops, just those commodities. And then the insurance does not apply or does not attach until that plant's in the ground.
Okay.
So
I have another question. Also, are hydroponics or aquaponics covered?
unfortunately, not at the moment.
Okay. Okay. Someone said we will be purchasing our first farm this fall and wondering what type of tax history we would need to use to apply. If you have that info available.
You'll need so if you're a beginning farmer or rancher, you need 3 years of Schedule F or other tax forms.
Do y'all cover any exotic animals like alligator farm or
No, well, no, not any alligators.
what about alpaca?
Now, alpaca, that could be considered livestock because that livestock is a general term. So, sheep, cattle. I, I bet alpaca will fall under there, but I'm not 100% sure about alpaca.
The next question in the chat, she said, Schedule F, would that be applied? This is the same person that's talking about buying a farm.
Okay.
She said, is that showing Schedule F, is that showing crop growth? Oh, sorry, she's not familiar with this form.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's showing that's essentially your what you will file to the IRS as a farmer. That's showing you have a history farming essentially. Um, so if you don't have any tax records, it'll be at least 3 years before you're eligible to participate with whole
She,
farm.
she said they have no history at all.
Okay, so yeah, it'll
She said that's the issue.
okay.
You
So
know?
yeah,
She said,
they'll have to build that well, they'll have to farm at least about 3 years to kind of to start to participate in whole farm.
okay.
And make sure you keep those records and file those tax in those 3 years.
So what if you never farmed at all, period, and you wanted to get started? I think would your tax history be your just your what you've been filing taxes on? Would they take that? If I never farmed, period,
If you never farm, period,
and I'm just beginning into it, would they want to see 3 years of tax return? Just
yeah, they're gonna want that Schedule F or other tax form showing that you've been growing uh, and filing for 3 years. So if you're just off the street and you're just starting to farm, you wouldn't be eligible.
okay.
Not for whole farm, not for the beginning farmer benefit. Well, actually, not for whole farm, because you have to have those tax records. But for other programs,
It wouldn't cover if you're a hobby farmer, would it?
a hobby farmer, yeah. I mean, you don't have to have a certain amount of acres, or as long as you got your records in place.
Well, if you grow it, I see someone in the chat say I grow, but I do not sell. I give it all away. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can insure it, but you may want to justify paying for that premium.
okay. Okay, someone just gave a reply, said, Andrea, you need to sell and donate your profits. Have to have a revenue on your Schedule F. So
Um,
that's just someone giving a reply to that.
okay.
To help assistance on
Mhm.
Christina Fredericks. Any more questions?
I gotta say, my email is, I think I took it down, but Derrick.Johnson at USDA.gov. Just give me a shout if something comes up after.